Всем привет, мои дорогие зрители, с вами я, Кривмонджи, и сегодня мы продолжаем играть в игру, где нам надо решать всякие головоломки и проходить концовки. Ладно, давайте продолжим. Вот у нас...
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Мне
даже не дали договорить, то что мы продолжаем свое приключение, и Пац уже закрывает дверь. Полоса. Конечно, спасибо, то, что в прошлой серии ты меня подвела. Вот зачем мне туда идти, ребят? Стоит ли мне туда идти или здесь остаться? Ну давайте здесь посмотрим, здесь принтер есть. Ладно. Принтер, телефон, компьютеры. Что это? Точилка. О, рабочий компьютер. Хоп. Что там? Ой, я его выключил, ребят. Какой я злой. Ну ладно, пошлите. Куда?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Блин. Почему не продумано то, что если мы идем назад, то никакого приключения не появляется? Жалко, конечно, даже очень жалко. Ну ладно, все-таки давайте следовать по сюжету самой игры, а не по сюжету этого голоса. И продолжаем идти по своим приключениям.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
Нет, я буду следовать полосе. Я буду ей следовать. Ну блин, ну полоса. Что-то мне не хочется сюда сходить, ребят, ну ладно.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Что это? А, ребят, там показаны наши концовки.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
First restart, second restart,
That's what this is?
restart.
It's all one giant
restart.
ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
16 часов играю.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Давайте сядем на
My
стул.
mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this
то есть две двери вели сюда.
Well,
Нормально.
who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
И
Why don't
походу
I get a
сейчас
say in all of
будет
this?
рестарт.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I
Эх,
don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Я без понятия. Что ты меня спрашиваешь?
Okay. I guess, just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Вот так вот все и получилось. То есть чувак, он все-таки рестартнул игру. Вот так вот. Почему-то внизу у нас не выбирается это окошко.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Возможно. Игра как будто бы начинается заново, ребят.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
А давайте реально в левую дверь войдем и будем следовать сюжету. Что же будет тогда? Хоп-хоп. 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 Не работает?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Нет, я пошел на низ.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin. the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Нет, ты не в порядке.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Boom.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Получается, вот этот вот голос, он просто хочет нас убить. Он создает какую-то вселенную, а Стэнли, будучи наркоманом, он к этому голосу прислушивается и выполняет его поручения, а все это влияет на реальный мир. Все, что мы здесь играем, это получается всего лишь голос. Я так понял.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
Кстати, почему я решил пойти направо? Потому что, как вы заметили, здесь же есть еще одна дверь. Вот эта самая дверь, на которую я хотел зайти. Вот мы сюда заходим. Так, обмануть получится, нет? Так.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ладно, идем прям. Здесь у нас вот что есть. И что нам делать? Зайти сюда? Хоп.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
А я не хочу туда идти.
Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Нет, не прыгну. Не прыгну. Все не прыгну. А я пойду назад. А здесь закрыто, да? А я пойду в стенку, все. Не. Он вынуждает меня прыгнуть, ребят. Нет, не хочу. Do not jump from the Прыгать, что ли? Ребят, прыгать? Ну ладно.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Гениально. Идем также. А, что? What? Сразу уже это?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this
Нет,
was
я не
not the correct
пойду.
way to the meeting room,
Дверь
and Stanley
слева.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Нет, я не пойду в первую дверь.
Stanley
слева.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Идем сюда, ребят.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all
Так,
this
давайте
time.
сейчас сюда спрыгнем, потому
There's
что мы
someone you've
видели
been
то, что
neglecting, Stanley. Someone...
я
What?
ехала туда.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Меня
What?
очень сильно
I don't know how to
огорчили.
convince you of this, but I
Огорчили.
really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Нет, не дам.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Нет, я зашел в синюю дверь.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through
Нет,
the
я
red
зашел
door.
в синюю дверь.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley
Я сказал
walked...
в синюю
All right,
дверь.
fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
О, ну, кстати, изменились текстуры. Ребят, как думаете, сюда идти или нет? Я пойду направо. Назад нельзя, да, назад нельзя, к сожалению.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Это вполне хорошая критика для тебя.
I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Здесь STANLEY PARABLE Была. Сюда нельзя выйти? О, нифига себе. Что это такое? Ну ладно, это что-то. Ладно, идем сюда. Опять же.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Ну, честно,
Hey,
да,
I nearly
честно.
forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Прощай, ребенок.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Какую-то игру новую нам предлагают. Оу.
Well,
Ребят.
Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Ребят.
Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Нет, я не зайду. Не зайду. Закройся. Закройся. Я буду смотреть на цветочек. Все, цветочек красивее этой какашки. Да. Цветочек. Вот цветочек-то такой пиксельный. А у нас есть шанс, типа, не заходите, бла-бла-бла. Ну ладно, я буду смотреть на цветочек. Цветочек. Да. И чё? Ну ладно. Хоп. Обманул. Обманул. Хоп-хоп. Чё?
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Где он опять ломает? А, он сломал эту фигню. Ну ладно. Мне туда как бы надо, да? Туда нельзя уйти. Ну как бы ладно. Идем сюда. Ой-ой-ой, зря я это сделал, ребят, зря. То есть я мог вот так вот взять и войти, но ну ладно.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Нет, нету. Ребят, это какой-то Майнкрафт. О, уголь.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Поиграли мы немножко в Майнкрафт, да, и новая игра. Что за новая игра? Portal.
Yes! Portal. I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk.
Мне тоже нравится Portal, чувак.
I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Эй, радио, эй! Дай мне радио. А что надо сделать? Я не почитал просто. Что это? Типа подождать надо или что? Вот у меня есть эта фигня. Так, там написано так и так. И что? Так. Нет. Воу. Взаимодействовать здесь с ничем нельзя. К сожалению. Воу. Вы тоже это видели? Будто бы топот какой-то был. Ну давайте все в туалет спросим. Так. 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 Давай, давай. Ну, давай. Ну. Не хочет. Дайте мне радио. Дайте мне радио. Все, мое радио. На тебе. То есть нам просто ждать надо или что? Я просто немножко не понимаю. Что нам здесь надо делать? Один 59 0000. Так, сюда радио. Так, может немножко повернуться, а? То есть нам просто ничего здесь не будет, да? Или что? Я немножко не понимаю. Возможно, он нас так... Да ну! Ладно. Я когда-то не заметил.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley.
Нет.
Your forte.
Ей. А что если... А? Хопа! Хопа и хопа. Ну. 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 Упади. А ну-ка. Вот так вот. Нет, нет, не получается. Ну ладно.
Genius.
Так. Гениально.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games. And I
Бум. Оставил, да? Оставил? Ну, ладно. Ой, нифига себе. И где это я? Ну ладно. Немножко страшно, конечно. Но ничего. Блин, света нет, жалко. А, вот свет. Это наш кабинет. Вот. Он же у нас другой немножко был. Вроде как. Ничего не видно. Ну ладно.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
И что? И новая перезагрузка. Перезагрузка. Ладно, новая перезагрузка. Нельзя покликать. Мы там же. Окей.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Я хочу попытаться провернуть эту штуку. Ну, вот не получится. Да. Что если мы упадем? Ничего не будет, да? Ну ладно, давайте вот так вот.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Что?
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to...
Whoa.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Так, извиняюсь, у меня закончилось место на диске, и давайте продолжим. Остался мне 1 гигабайт. Я освободил немножко места, чтобы закончить эту концовку. И что же у нас здесь появилось? Это жена. Вот это вот она. Да, это она. РТ, что? Это реально? Какой РТ? Ну, в принципе, давайте посмотрим настройки, клавиатура. Странно. РТ, давайте посмотрим, что это за кнопка такая. Я сейчас просто нажимаю все кнопки. Мне потому что интересно, что это такая за кнопка. РТ. В принципе, может, надо было мне джойстик подключить. А, это 5. F5. Окей. А, нет. И что делать? Что дальше? Туда я не могу пройти. F5, F6, F7. Оу. Я сохранился, да. То есть это сохранение, как я понял. F7 это загрузка. Ну, окей. И что дальше? Как бы будет инструкция? Может, еще раз? Ну ладно. Ну, в принципе, вот такая вот, похоже, концовка. Всем давайте еще раз попробуем загрузить. Да, похоже, это вся концовка. Ладно, и всем спасибо за просмотр. Я думаю, это последняя серия у нас поэтому. То есть было всего 2 серии. Это первая и вот эта вот вторая. Потому что, как бы, игра, она себя исчерпала. Все, что здесь можно было посмотреть, весь эпик, я думаю, мы уже посмотрели. И вот, конечно, мы прошли полностью всю игру, но этого достаточно. И вот, всем спасибо за просмотр. С вами был я, Кремоджи. Всем желаю подписаться на канал и поставить лайк этому видео. Ладно. Всем до встречи и до встречи моей, в кавычках, жене. Всем бай-бай, ребят. Бай-бай.